days. What's going on? I got to do a recap. What's happened? Since I've done a talk last, there's a new president.
A new president?
Yeah. I really try not to get too caught up in reindeer games.
Reindeer games?
But he's doing things that are good for people.
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing things that's
what's going
not
on.
so good. Well, that's what Gemini does. They giveth and then they taketh. It's like you get one hand does something and the other does it. That's what Gemini's about. So
that's right.
It just goes with the territory. People knew astrology, they'd get it more. They get how things work more if they just knew. I swear, man, it's like I feel like the whole world's I feel like the powers that be use astrology. Because what is the first question that is ever asked on any like document after your name? Your date of birth. Yep. I think the world's a far more deliberate place than it's led on to be. Well, America, maybe not the world. I only live in America. That's my only experience. I watch other people that live in other places. So, things I've seen him do in the few days he's been in that position is well, he went to go see some places that needed some attention. He got some people some housing that needed housing.
That's nice.
Yeah. I saw no tax on tips.
No.
Is something else. Is that people that make their money, their livelihood on tips, that they are no longer that they won't be required to pay taxes on those. They can keep those 100%.
Oh.
I know a lot of people don't declare all that they make. Now they don't have to, or they can. It won't be there to their detriment. And then other things like tax breaks for caregiver, that stuff doesn't apply to me. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. That's all you. It's every day is like that. We'll see. You know, they released some documents, but a lot of people already knew what these documents said because the general pop doesn't understand that, like, these alphabet soup offices that have been in charge for all these years, like they had permission to just basically make anybody's lives miserable that they wanted. All they had to do was be suspicious, right? So there's a lot of people that took advantage of their tools and their powers and did a lot of stuff they shouldn't have, and a lot of people got in trouble that maybe didn't need to be in trouble, and people died that probably didn't need to die. And that's the thing, is like America is Hollywood. As a nation, it's built on like Hollywood. Its driving force is based on make believe, getting people to believe things that aren't necessarily true. And then the people in Hollywood said, we can expand this. And then Hollywood and, military got together and, you want to go outside, bud? And then they collaborated and, boom diddy boom over there. And the only thing is that's real life theatrics where there's real collateral damage. You want to go outside? I didn't think you were going to get up now. I wouldn't have started my talk. Till after. Figure out what you want to do. Come on. I don't like this door open, dude. It's freezing out there. This place is cold. We can't stay here another winter. It's too fucking cold, man. It's like I can't be sequestered in a room that doesn't have fucking windows because this is the warmest place in the house. And I'm still waiting on that other heater. You want to go out? Come on. Let's go. Try not to forget that he's out there. Yeah, it's cold in here, and it stays warm in this one room, but that's it, dude. And as soon as I open that, like, I have a heater right here, it has a thermostat on it, and it can go up to 70, and as soon as I open this door, it goes down, and in like 10 seconds, it's down to 61. But a lot of people out there have it way worse than me. Hi. Welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Hale empath. I just like having these little talks about how I feel about things. And today I was going to talk about balance and how it's become to be an essential factor in my life, and how it's taken me many years to learn balance. You know, it's just better to keep it even keel. Don't let the highs get too high. Don't let those lows get too low. A lot of people haven't been taught tools how to take care of themselves. Go ahead. You want out? You want out? Go. Go on, good girl. It's okay. Good girl. It's okay. You're a good girl. This is a good girl. Sit ready. Come on. You want outside? You want out? Come on. Come on. You want out? Tucker's already out. I hate winter. And it isn't even bad here. It's just cold. It's just sub-zero. But it's been below zero here for days, like over a week. And it snowed, and we're just now getting rid of the last of it. It didn't snow a lot, but it stayed cold enough that it turned to ice, and then just wouldn't get hot enough during the day to thaw stuff out. Like right now, it's 6 o'clock, and it's 33 degrees. But the sun went down, so the temperature's gonna drop. Come on, buddy. Come on, let's go. Good dog. Good dog. Good doggy. Good boy. Yeah, I hope people that are out there. You know, I know a lot of people out there, they like to sleep under the stars. You know, they got their sub-zero sleeping bags, and they just want to, you know, and there's a lot of people that freaking medicate. They drink a bunch of booze every night, and that ain't good to do under the freaking, when it's cold. That's how people freeze to death, because it makes your blood extra thin. Alcohol does. When you remove oxygen and replace it with alcohol, it gets heavy. Gets heavy, riddled with demons. You come and talk, you still drinking water? Balance. Like, I would not have started this talk with all of this back and forth. I wouldn't have. Like, I'm really annoyed. I'm trying not to freaking literally lose my shit, really. Because I hate that stuff. Because, like, I mean, of all the stuff that I do not do for myself, sometimes I talk to myself on video camera for a half an hour, and then I feel like when I can't do that because something that needs my attention, that gets my attention all the fucking time, I feel like it can wait. But it can't wait. It can't wait, can it? Because this life isn't about me. No. Why would I ever think this life was about me? Go up the stairs. Good boy.
what you can do.
My parents made sure to let me know this life wasn't about me. I always got the don't be selfish gaslighting bit. Heck, they'd tell me I was being selfish on my birthday. I had a weird upbringing, but that's okay because I had to have a weird upbringing because there's so many kids that are coming up in life right now that their fucking upbringing's weird. I just want them to know that I can relate and that there's tools that I picked up along the way that I use to kind of help keep myself sane, really. Because that's the goal, is just to kind of try to stay sane and not cause any harm to people, you know? That's why I always understood it to be. I always came across people that did the most harmful things. It's bizarre what people choose to do with their free will. So balance. I always understand balance. The way I look at balance is this is how I look at it. And this is not even my interpretation on how I think other people interpret. This is just basically solely my interpretations on how I feel about, or how I see things based on my frame of reference. And so, Benny, stop. So, when I was a little kid, I wasn't allowed to eat sugar. So they removed from our diet, my brother and our diet, sugar, and they said so no milk, no sugar. You want to go outside? You want to go outside? I'll let you out. No! Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Come on, let's go. And then you can just stay out for the rest of my talk. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. Come on. Then you're going to shut up, right? Because I don't want to hear it. He only does this when I get on to talk. That's why it's just so annoying. Because it just makes my train of thought derail. I'm like trying to say stuff, and I have a whole line of thinking I want to do, but I can't because every time I start to go in, I hear this snivelly little whiny little dog over here, and it's annoying. I struggle with anonymity because I recognize I'm an autonomous being, and I think that other beings should be autonomous, meaning that they should soothe themselves. Like, I shouldn't have to do anything to make anything feel better on planet Earth. My whole life, people said, you're responsible for your own feelings, sticks and stones, and all this bullshit. So I had to learn how to cope and handle my own big old huge feelings that are inside, while nobody offered me pats or circles. You know, big ol'. I never got embraced with the comfort and ease. Never. And you see people that fucking break a nail, and the whole fucking community comes in and fucking carries them off, and we'll support, and just like, what the fuck is what? Whose cousin do I gotta be to get that fucking treatment? Just more of that life ain't fair shit, and they need to stop stacking the deck, because like they've been doing the last, as long as history has been. I'm pretty excited about all the truths being revealed, because America's freaking, ever since the Constitution, it's all fucking lies, man. It's nice in theory. Theoretically, it looks good on paper. If only they could get reality to match the script on the page. They can't get it to do that, and they keep putting efforts into over there and over there, and all these issues and like democracy and freedom, they're just words on a page, and that don't do no good. See, everybody knows that America's gonna freaking ruin itself from the inside. All they have to do is teach people that they don't gotta be balanced. Take balance out. You know, like the justice scales, you know? Like riding a bike, if you do too much of something, you're gonna just be spinning around on the ground on your side. Just America shot itself in the foot when it introduced like a freaking drug in a vein of self-will run riot, vowed and shroud in living that best life. Just tell them to do whatever they want. And look who benefits. Look who benefits. If people are not taught to discipline themselves, then there are systems put in place to discipline you for you, and then they get paid. And so many people lack, and then they freaking gave all these people, this is what I've been talking about for 15, 20 years now. Because it was 20 years ago I got those 8 shots. And that I was the guinea pig for what happened 5 years ago, 4 years ago. They tested it on me. Give her 2. And if she don't die from these 2, make her come back in 2 months and give her 2 more. We'll make her part of this case study. And then in 2 months after that, if she ain't dead, give her 2 more. I remember the lady that gave me the shot, I was like, "What? I've had a lot of shots in my life. This one burns real bad. Why does it burn so bad?" She said, "That's the formaldehyde. They store it in formaldehyde." So I'm already freaking pickled. I already got what dead people have in them. 5, 10, 15, 20. That's what? 40 milliliters worth. That's like a whole shot oven by itself is straight for formaldehyde. So, I don't have any flight. It's just all fight. So I'm always telling myself, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay. There's no threat. It's okay. There's no threat. There's no threat. And then something comes wrong, and that reminds me that there's threats in the world. And then I'm like, oh, okay. Well, at least I could still handle threats. At least I could still take the threat. I've been threatened a lot in my life. You know, on both sides of the badges. So it's real funny to me when people are like, yay, police. Because I'm like, which ones? The ones that are bending over? Never. Okay, see, I will edit my stuff. Anyway. They're not all good. And if there's so many good ones, how come you guys have such a hard time figuring out that you're working with a bunch of bad ones? I don't get that shit. Like, I know you guys just like sit around, wait for the phone to call and wait for people to tell on their friends, and that's how you catch people. You know, you're always asking for tips. It's like, dude, the police have never actively gone out and looked for like who, because it's like, it's not important to them. It's important to the family. A lot of times. But world's a weird place. It's a very imbalanced place. What happens? It's like, well, okay, America. This is America. We're taught, okay, you're born to mom and dad. I was born in mom and dad. My parents were divorced before I was born, though. I was their parting gift. And then, like, you know, I didn't grow up in a kind and loving environment, and I had weird stuff happen to me when I was a baby, and all this other, and like, well, I mean, I had a weirdly unorthodox upbringing, all the while able to mask and fit into the world that exists where people that stuff doesn't happen. That stuff doesn't happen. So I was always living like, you know, one spirit and these both, and it was just so weird. And that was an imbalance in me. Like I couldn't go along to get along anymore, because everything, people are just making me go along with more and more of their nonsense. And they were never into anything that I was into, so it's just me going on with their, I stopped doing it. About 10 years ago, I stopped all that. And I started caring more about my body, because I started realizing, okay, I'm 40. This is 10 years ago. I'm 40. How is your body, how mobile are you going to be in 10 years? And then so now I'm 50. And then I think to myself, whenever I want to lay around or do nothing or eat a bunch of junk food or just, pamper myself so much into a state of unhealthy frenzy, I think to myself, well, Marge, if you're going to live another 10 years, what do you want your quality of life to be in that 10 years? So I work today to help that body later, whether I make it or not. And I've been struggling in this cold temperature because everything hurts. And when everything hurts, I have less of a tolerance than none. And I have to try so much harder to be like, do your everyday dude. It doesn't matter that your freaking back hurts and you can't bend over to put your socks on sometimes. Mom still needs her oatmeal. It doesn't matter that, all these other things that are going on with you, it doesn't matter, because this life isn't just about me. It's also about the comfort and welfare of my mom. And then to end up in the same place that she was born, if I'm not too careful, I can think of that as a slap on the face. Only to find out that we're surrounded by 1,000 people that could easily love her just as well as me, but they're just an imbalanced people. And they just remind me of what it's like when people just care about themselves. They put their family in a home. And hopefully this guy that's in charge now, maybe he'll make it easier for people to take care of a loved one that can't take care of themselves. Because aren't people getting it? This is how the meek are inheriting the earth. I saw a video earlier of a young girl that got a knock on the door from a neighbor, and he's like, I need to cook, can you help me, I need to make and he didn't know how to do it. People don't know how to do things to take care of themselves. And then you have this other part of the population of the world that their lifestyle, their luxury of they living in the lap of luxury, built on systems that are supposed to help people that can't take care of themselves, and they don't get the help. So now here comes the karma, because that's an imbalance. See, when you get paid for a job that you don't do, that's an imbalance. When you get paid so much to do a job, and you're at that job 8 hours a day, 9 hours a day, but maybe they're getting 3 hours of work out of you, that's an imbalance. When all these personnel that should be fit, they should be, all these people that should be fit are not fit anymore. And that is an imbalance. People should be doing for other people as much as they do for themselves. That will clear up the imbalance. When people start inconveniencing themselves, like this young woman, she actually freaking went full board. She went and made made the young man a whole freaking dinner. Made a dinner, People the reality of the world can no longer sustain the story of what they're trying to make the world. And I get, all these people making all the money with the Bitcoin and stuff like that, That takes a lot of freaking resources to do. Just takes a lot of that takes a lot of juice. It takes a lot of energy. And when so much energy goes for something that so few benefit from, while all these other people are out, trying to stay fucking warm, and they're trying to freaking eat. They're trying to freaking find a place to sleep at night, and then a place to shit in the morning, because society doesn't make it easy unless you play their fucking game. Lucky for me, I managed to navigate around the fucking game while being in the game, and then coming out and telling people it's a fucking game. Don't do that. I'm so happy to see more people looking at trade schools. Trade schools and not military. Don't do what I did. Don't anybody ever do what I did. I don't want anybody to end up like me. But taking the easier, softer way never did nobody no good. That's why I'm not a popular person. I'm not going to be a popular person because I'm going to be about doing the work first. People don't want to do the work, as we can see. I see Ireland is getting a taste. Planet Earth is just about getting a taste of what it's like to have experiences. A lot of people I got to experience what it's like to evacuate when I was a young girl. I got to experience what it's like to run from my life. I've got to experience a lot of terrible things. You want the bed? You got the good bed, bud. And now all these other people are having these experiences. All the while, I've had them, and then I've kind of kept having them as life has gone on. But that just makes it easy for me to relate to other people is all. So, my heart goes out to a lot of those folks that are going through these life experiences now that they weren't given the tools. But when I got scared, I got into action. When I didn't know what to do in my own life, I got busy. And then whenever I saw anybody that needed help, I'd help them. Everybody has their own path. What works for me might not work for somebody else. That's why I use astrology, because it tells me what the potentials. It's like people have free will. They can do this. They can act like this. When they're acting from what is a predominant factor is where people are coming from. Are they choosing to live from their spirit, or are they choosing to live from their ego? Or is it a balance? Because some days I got to rely on my ego more than living from spirit for that situation. Oh, discernment is so tough. Anyway, glad these are conversations more and more people are having. But, well, you want to watch some Bob's Burgers? I got some pizza from the Trading Post too. You want a piece of pizza?
Yeah.
You getting hungry?
Yeah, that's nice.
And some pear juice?
Yeah, the pear juice.
All right, so I